High school students in Springfield are graduating at a much higher rate than in recent years. While the number of graduates still lags the state average, the district is optimistic it can make up that ground. I sat down with Superintendent Daniel Warwick and Yolanda Johnson, Director of Student Services, to find out more.
We were hoping to go up to at least 70%, and we're really excited to go well beyond what our expectation was. And interestingly enough, that's the biggest improvement in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts this year. But over 5 years, since 2012, we have over a 20% increase in our graduation rate, which again is the biggest increase in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Absolutely.
And during that same time frame, we cut our dropout rate in half. So we're really excited about the work that we've done in this area.
Lots of hard work to get the students in the district at that level. Dr. Johnson, I know there are a combination of factors that go into improving graduation rate and increasing or decreasing the dropout rate. Is there maybe one that you could point to that you think is the standout among those?
Yes. Back in the spring of 2010, we started a strategy called Online Credit Recovery, which is a digital learning platform that provided students who were off track an opportunity to make up courses in an online learning environment where they received support from content area teachers, special education teachers, along with ELL teachers to make sure we were responding to the diverse needs of our students. So that is one thing that really helped leverage some of the work we were trying to do to expand on some of our traditional extended learning time opportunities for students.
And quite a few different things happening within the district, which I hope we'll talk about in a bit. But also want to look at the statewide graduation rate, which is 88.3% statewide. You made huge strides in this 2017, moving into the 2018 school year now. Do you think you'll be able to at some point match or maybe even beat the statewide graduation rate?
Well, our goal all along has been to narrow the gap with the state, but all the urban centers in the state where you have high ELL and special education populations score much below the state average. Mm-hmm. It's a whole different kind of comparison band, if you will.
And you have about 76% of the students in the district, am I pulling that number correctly, who are Hispanic, Latino, 65% who are either Hispanic or Latino in the district. Something interesting that we've talked about on the show before is the challenge among collegiate graduation rates, and I know that community college in this area are working quite hard to help Hispanic and Latino students finish their college degrees. What's happening between, or if anything, happening between the high school and the community colleges to help support those students?
Both Springfield Technical Community College and Holyoke Community College have been designated as Hispanic serving institutions. Mm-hmm. Within both of those institutions that we work closely with, they have strategies, student success strategies to not only help students enter those colleges, but for them to persist. As our graduation rate increases, that also we also are employing strategies to help ensure that when our students graduate, they're ready to succeed in college. So we are working with those institutions. We are providing students with opportunities for remediation to ensure that they are not placed into classes that are not credit bearing to help them reach their goal to earn a 2-year degree.
Let's look at African American and white students. So the district has about 20% African American students, about 11% white students in the district. 85% of African Americans graduated and about 82.6% of whites. So looking at those populations, you know, you're making a concerted effort with Hispanic and Latino students. What's happening with African American and white students?
Very interesting that the African-American graduation rate is higher and very high as compared to the African-American subgroup statewide. Mm-hmm. So we're very encouraged by that, and I think the diversity of programs we have to offer and a lot of the different things we put in place. The largest increase is our English language learner subgroup, which grew by over 30% in the last 5 years. Mm-hmm. So the work in with those subgroups has been very, very important to us and very gratifying to see better gains there than in our aggregate.
Very intentional.
And is that, when you say very intentional, is that bringing in more bilingual teachers? Is it bringing in more paraprofessionals who are supporting in the classroom?
We offered a completely different ELL program, a lot of retail training for our teachers so that our kids are getting great instruction, and then the support in English as a second language as well. So I think that would account for the ELL gains, I think Yolanda could do a great job of speaking to the African American gains.
When we looked at our extended learning opportunities for all students, we also made sure, particularly in the summer, that we had, whether it's paraprofessional support, special education teachers, and English language learner teachers, to be there to support students in the summer. We definitely had to differentiate our instructional strategies, including the summertime, and our English language learners program also has a summer academy. So we definitely broadened the scope of services we offered. We made sure that students had the supports they need, but also with the support of our superintendent, we also ensure that any strategy or initiative that we are involved in, it aligns to the district goals. So we have college access initiatives that target young men around helping them see high school graduation as a reality, but also so that they are attending college and persisting. And that also helped us when we looked at the data for those young men, and they were representative of all ethnic groups, but they all graduated. Again, another aligned strategy to meet the needs of our ELL students, our special education students, our African American students, and our white students as well.
We've had a significant improvement in the students who participate in advanced placement courses, and the research is very strong that youngsters who participate in advanced placement courses move on to college, but also they matriculate through college successfully. So we've really put a lot of effort into that. In our rates at Central High School, we have the highest percentage of minority students in advanced placement courses in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And I think that's helped account for. We've had similar gains across the other schools in the district for the increase in the different minority groups. That performance increase have been fabulous.
I know that something the district has added into its complement of teaching approaches or educational approaches has been magnet schools in recent years. And the concept sort of generally for folks at home to zoom out is basically, you're extending it's a combined middle and high school essentially to oversimplify what it is. And it kind of has a targeted theme to it, right? Does that do it justice?
It does.
Interesting that I was looking, there was a report recently about Chicopee schools and having students be with teachers for more than 1 year. They call it looping, I guess, so that a student has their teacher in first grade and also in second grade, and they're seeing improvements in reading rates. I was curious about with the magnet school, the continuation from middle into high school, but being in the same unit, in the same building. Do you think that that is helping with graduation rate, that continuity, or is there any indication?
I think there's an indication if you look at the data. The data at Renaissance is very strong. The other schools are newer. But I think there's always been a huge problem with the transition from 8th to 9th grade when kids go from middle schools to high schools, and traditionally very large middle schools onto high schools. So I think not having that transition and the building working together to bridge that gap has made a difference in those schools. We're hoping we get similar data at the conservatory and at Duggan that we've experienced at Renaissance, but the graduation rate is high at Renaissance.